Hello guys and welcome back to Cruise and Ducko Valorant Guides. Today I'm going to be showing you some really useful Cypher cam spots for split, which can be used after the patch 0.50. This video actually took a little bit longer than expected, as I spent ages in custom games finding cam spots only to have about 80% of them removed in the latest patch, so hopefully this will be good for a while until the next update. Pretty much every single one of these cams, apart from one or two, I found myself in custom games, so I'd really appreciate it if you liked the video and shared with your friends if you found it useful. Anyway, without further ado, let's get started. Our first cam is a super easy one to set up and allows you to see attackers pushing A choke. To get this cam in position, just walk over to A rafters, jump and left click on the second umbrella like so. This allows for some easy info on how many attackers are pushing A to call out to your team, and can be easily picked up and moved to another spot. This next one is a great one to use directly after the one I just showed you, especially if you are defending A alone and the majority of their enemy team is pushing you. In this case, it may be a good idea to take a more passive approach and gather info as your team rotate to assist you. Simply jump on top of this box, aim roughly here on the metal light fixings, jump and left click. This one doesn't need to be lined up perfectly, which is useful as you may need to get this one set up quickly before the attackers take you out and gain control of heaven. As you can see here, it provides a great view of the entirety of heaven, and it is unlikely to be seen so long as you wait until the attackers have already passed the doorway from ramps, and avoid firing darts at the attackers when possible, as this removes the need for the attackers to search for the camera, as they will instead be focusing on the places at which the defenders could come through. This next one's a super easy one that allows you to see A main. All you have to do is walk into the defender doorway, jump and place it on this beam here. I didn't actually find this cam myself, but I thought I'd include it anyway since it's super useful. This cam is quite well hidden and allows you to see into the passage along A site as well as slightly into heaven. For this one, walk over to the edge of the rafters and place the cam on the bush by aiming through the triangle. As you can see, you get a good view of this passage here, as well as a large amount of sight and into heaven. This cam will actually allow you to spot players who are sitting all the way at the back of A site. One thing you should be aware of, however, is that while you can see players who are closer to the wall near site, you can't actually see players who are closer to the wall near defender doorway. Next up, we have a quite well hidden and unpredictable cam which will allow you to see the majority of A site. For this one, you want to stand behind the cover in the middle of site, jump and aim for the back of this fence. This one will show you a large amount of sight, including the cover in the middle where people frequently plant. Here's another sneaky cam the attackers likely won't notice as they'll be focusing on other areas of the map. Simply walk over to the centre of site, crouch and aim for this chair. This next one is an out of map glitched cam which allows you to see through the walls into defender doorway as well as down the alley onto site. To set this up, simply walk over to this left corner of the site, jump and place it down on the tree in the distance. As you can see, it is a little bit dodgy, so you will have to move your camera up and down to see players. I'm sure this one will be patched in the near future, so don't count on using this one in games. Moving swiftly onto B, we have an out of map cam which you can place by jumping against this wall and looking on the beam of this house. With this one you can see a lot of sight, and you can even see slightly into heaven. No one's going to really be looking up here, so the cam should be relatively safe. This next one is placed from B rafters and will provide great vision over B, and can either be used to gather info at the start of the round or saved until later in order to retake the site. This next one is another glitched cam which will allow you to see up into B heaven. What you're going to want to do for this one is come over to the bottom of the site here, crouch and aim up into this metal area. You're going to want to get it as high as you can to give you the best vision into heaven. This one can't be seen by the enemy team and can be picked up if you slide down this metal and spam F. Here's another hidden cam for B site. All you have to do is walk over to the edge of rafters here, aim for this left wall and click. This will allow you to see a large amount of B site, including the common plant spot where enemies will push behind this box. Up next is an out of map cam which will allow you to see into B garage. All you need to do is get on top of this box, jump and aim for this beam here. There's very little chance an attacker will see this cam unless you fire your tracking dart. Here's another out of map cam, this time watching a large amount of B site. All you want to do for this one is walk up to this wall, jump and aim for the ledge of the blue building. This cam will be very difficult for the attackers to spot as they definitely won't be looking out in this direction. Our first mid cam is a passive cam which can be used to see when the attackers are pushing past this corner. Simply aim up into this area here and shoot it. Simple. You'll have to set this one up relatively quickly as the new spawn barriers will prevent you from placing this before the buy phase ends. This next one is a glitch cam for attackers on mid. To set this up you'll most likely want to ask a teammate to smoke mid or use a cage as you are very vulnerable. To get this one in position, stand here at the back of the frog, crouch and place it on the wall behind it. This will allow you to see a good amount of mid and into the vents doorway where the defenders often camp. Our final cam is another glitched mid cam which will allow you to see through the wall into mid. To set this one up, what you want to do is go into this back corner here and aim between the crack between the box and the wall. Unfortunately, with this one you won't be able to see the right side of the door where the defenders usually peek, however you are able to fire a tracking dart through the wall if you know one is waiting there. Setting this one up is quite risky as you expose yourself to mid as you cross the gap getting into the corner, so I recommend asking a teammate to smoke mid or using a cage to cover yourself from any defenders camping in vents. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video has been helpful, and if it has, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. If you haven't already, you should check out some of our other videos as we have covered several other agent lineups such as Viper Smokes, Sova Reveal Arrows and Sage Slows. I've been Ducko and I'll see you in the next one.